This is a training video for Granville National Bank on how to edit your WordPress site. So we're going to start here on the login page, and you can see that's your domain and then /WP-admin. That'll take you to a screen that looks like this, and go ahead and put your username and password in that is on your red sheet. There's a PDF that we send out that we call the red sheet that has a lot of important information, and it will include that. It'll also give you that address in case you forget. That will take you to the back side of WordPress and to the initial dashboard here, where you can see, who's visiting the site, how many folks, and that sort of thing. And then you can also get all the other tools here on the left-hand side. These will be important. The main place you'll probably be working is here in Pages. If you click on Pages, this is a list of all of the pages in your website. And we're going to edit one of these. Let's just open up the mobile privacy policy so you can see that. Again, what you're seeing here is the back side of the WordPress site. So you will want to be sure that you're looking at the front side to know what that looks like and what you'll want to edit. On the back side, you'll see the text, both the headline, which you can see if I highlight this, is heading 1. That means it's the main headline. And then all of this text is paragraph. This one is paragraph plus a bold. There's a featured image on the top of this page, and that's that. You could remove that and set a new one if you want. And pretty much this section is like a really basic word editor where you can type right into this, make any changes, bullet point, center, align, whatever you need to do there. There's one tricky thing here. If you click right here, you get more tools. So this toolbar toggle, you'll want to be sure that you notice, because that's how you get more tools. There is formatting built in here too. If you wanted to add a button or white text, for instance, you may have a dark button with white text. You can select these items. If you were to add a link like this privacy policy, let's say I just pick a word here, I can click on link and just add a link right into the text. And I can do that by going here to my link options. I can type in the URL that it needs to go to, or I can choose from one of these pages that are already in the site. And then when I add link, whoops, I didn't choose a page. Let's try that again. I go here and I'm just adding something at this point. It's going to go ahead and link to the page that I defined. And if this is incorrect, I can remove the link. But I could also choose to go down here to the bottom, add a couple more spaces, and type in some text that I wanted to be a button and format that as a button, which you would see on the front side, not the back side. I can show you that. And then I'm going to go ahead and type in either the URL or find the page here. And that's a simple way to add a button or a link in. If you want to see what your page is looking like, over here, there's a button that says Preview Changes. When you click that, it opens a new tab, and then you can see. Now, I didn't save any of those changes, so they're not here, but that's how you go ahead and preview the work that you're doing. When you have it all complete and you're happy with the page as is, you'll come here and hit Update. And that's essentially save and publish. Just be sure that you do that before you close out, or you will lose your changes. Let's go ahead and go to a different page. There is a page on your site that has the fee schedules. Let's take a look at that on the front side of your site. It has a bunch of tables on it, and that makes this a little more complicated. But the tables have to be built so that everything aligns perfectly no matter what size it is. If it's mobile or tablet, you kind of had to have some additional software built in so it can keep all of these things in a nice table. So if we go here to the fee schedule page, and you can either click here or click edit, either one works. And I open up that page, you'll see that it looks different. This one is going to have headings, all of those different headings, and then a series of table IDs underneath, which does look a little complicated on this side, But what these are these are tables that are built in Table Press. So I can go here to Table Press, and then it's a little more clear. You can see all of the fees are built into separate tables. So if I want to go and edit this fee, same thing, I can click on the name or edit. If I want to open this table, okay, there we go. It's taking a little bit to get there. Oh, this is a very simple table. It's only got a couple of cells, but it's just got these two columns. There is a little bit of code in there forcing this to keep the number to the right-hand side. Let's go back and let's pick another one. We'll pick one that maybe has a little bit more to it. We'll say loan fees. We'll give that just a second to pop up. And here you can see here's the left-hand column and here's the right-hand column with the actual fees. All you have to do to edit that is go ahead and highlight, type in whatever needs to change, and then down at the bottom of this page is Save Changes. You can see there's a lot of other settings and ways to alter it and add lines and all of that sort of thing. Probably is not going to be necessary unless you need to add an additional fee, and you can insert a new column or insert a new row. But you literally just click those, type in, and hit save down here at the bottom, and that will automatically update the price on this page. So that's all you have to do to update those fee schedule prices. All right, back to the back side again. We're going to look at the home page, because the home page is the one that is a little different, a little tricky. It's not built in the same format as the other pages. Let's go and take a look at that on the front side. This is a different format than all of the other pages because it has this, well, first of all, it has your login, of course, and logo at the top. And then it has this large slider feature with the rotating images, and then these 4 featured images and essentially a footer. So this is built differently than your other pages, and you won't find it in the pages listing. Instead, you're going to go to Appearance, and that will open up this menu bar on this side, and you're going to go to Widgets. So I know that's a little tough, but you have to remember to go to Appearance and Widgets to edit your home page. And then you'll see over here on the right this stack of items, and these are all the items that are on your home page. And if you open them up, it starts to kind of make sense. In the header, there is an image, and that's your logo. There is some code that you do not want to touch. That's your login. That's the account access. There's an old one that is there for if it needed to switch back. There's a navigation item. We're going to leave that. We don't want to edit that at this point. Some of these aren't used. They're static and they're not used. The home page has also the slider, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. Probably the only thing you really need to edit. You might want to edit those 4 featured items, and those are here. And if you click on those, you can see, for instance, here's personal checking, and it links to this page, the checking accounts page, and it has this image in it. And by the way, while we're talking about images, if I decide that's not the image that I want, I can go to Choose Image, and I can either drop an image in there, which you will have to make sure that it's copyright free, that it's sized correctly, or you can go up here to Media Library, and we've loaded a lot of images in here for you, and so you could just choose a different image from your media library. And so there's a lot of good images in there. In fact, you can keep going. That's not all of them. It's just showing the first 80. There's lots of images in there for you to choose from. So you can always change images in that way. Same works for those the images at the top of the page that we saw earlier. When you click to change it, it will take you to this media library where you can choose something different. So we'll close out of that as we don't need to do that right now. If you make changes to the home page and to anything on the home page, for instance, like here's the footer that has the App Store and the link that takes you to the Apple Store and the Google Play Store. All of these items, this has your contact information in it. If you make changes to any of these items, you need to be sure to save those changes as well. And that save, well, it's off the page right now. It's down here at the bottom. See if I can get it to show up. At the bottom, trust me, there is a save. It's just outside of my recording screen. You save those when you're done. The other thing that I might mention is if you ever make a change and you don't see it change on the front side, there is a tool built into the site, and you can see it right up here. It's called WP Rocket, and that caches images and content so that the site loads quicker. Now, every once in a while, it caches things after you save it. You still see the old image, or you still see an old link, and you have to clear and preload the cache. So if you ever have an instance where you make a change, you can't see the change on the front side of the site, or someone else can't see the change, just be sure you go here to WP Rocket and clear and preload the cache. That'll flush all of that out again and make sure it loads that new content that you set up. All right, last thing I want to talk about is the website slider, the homepage slider that's here so that you can make those changes. That's in another tool over here on the left, and it's called Slider Revolution. So I'm going to click on Slider Revolution, and it takes just a little bit of time. It's a little bit slow this morning. And you'll see that there is one slider in this window, and it's the homepage slider. So I'll click on the pencil to edit that. This tool has a lot of pieces and parts to it, so we're going to go through the basics because that's really what you need is the basics of this tool, so it doesn't get too complicated. But up here in the top bar, you'll see there are 4 slides currently, and it gives you a little preview of those. And if you wanted to turn any of those off, that's no problem. You can click on this eyeball, and when you click that, you can disable it so that it's not seen anymore. You can delete it completely if you want. You can copy it and make changes also. So those are the current sliders in your website right now. To edit a slider, if you click on the background, for instance, let's say I want to edit this image, it will go ahead and pop up over here on this side the option to go to the media library. And again, same media library. You click here, you could pick a new picture to drop in there and make any changes to the images that you want. Now the question is, where's the text? If you click here, there's layers. This is the image layer, this is the text layer. So we kind of have to bring that text back again because the image was in the front for a second. So then I can double click on this, or sometimes if you just click once, it'll pop right up. Over here on the right hand side again is this text where I can type in new text right here. Any changes that you make to the images or to the text, be sure to come down here to the bottom and hit save, and then those will be live. There are tons of other tools inside of here, but those are the ones you'll need to use most often. Is go up to slides. If you want to make a new slide, you can use this tool to copy one of the existing ones. That's usually probably the easiest. And then you can always take that picture and change it out by going to the media library, get to the text layer, and then change out the text there too to whatever you need it to be. And then as long as you hit slide, you'll end up with, save, you'll end up with a new slide. Now, the one part that's a little tricky is websites are built for multiple sizes these days: desktop, notebook, tablet, mobile. So if you find that on mobile, for instance, this slide looks really odd, you may have to go up here to the right and rearrange things specifically for mobile or tablet. So we've already done that in this one, and you can see the tractor's in a normal position here. We've kind of positioned it so it's still in the frame. And then the text has been sized down and moved to the bottom. So we've done that for your current slides, but if you add new slides in or you start moving pieces around, for instance, if I put this up here, it's very hard to read. So I may need to, work with where the text box is. Sometimes they come in really large and awkward, and that's what you see on your phone will be this blue dotted line. So you have to be sure, okay, I've sized this down and I've made sure that it makes sense in the space. Or for instance, in this one, I might need to put in a break in the text here so that it fits in the space, and shrunk it down just a little bit so it's between those bars where my phone's going to view it. And then if I go back to desktop, it's still looking okay over here. In fact, I could probably even get a little more space to make you on the same line. And then back again to mobile, still good. So hit save at the end when you're done so that you make sure that you have all those changes in place. And then to get back to the regular WordPress screen, there's always the WordPress logo in the upper left-hand corner, and you can go back to your dashboard and view all of your pages, the table press if you need to edit that, or your home page. Lots and lots of other tools in here as well, but those are the main ones that you'll need to edit. If you have any questions, our phone number is on the red sheet, our contact information. You can always email us at support@firehousedesign.com. We do not have an update contract with your bank, so we won't be contacting you regularly to make any updates. But if you need to get a hold of us, you can get a hold of us there. Thanks.